And so I tell you, keep on asking, and you will receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, everyone who seeks finds, and to everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. Powerful verse. So my dad said that he was treated unfairly. Like, the kids, when he was younger, would make fun of him that he's not wearing it. The teachers would treat him differently, and they would grade him more harshly on tests. And the way their tests worked is they had to go up in front of the classroom and pretty much so you answer questions and then you have to elaborate on the questions in front of the whole entire class. That was part of it at times. You have to do public speaking, and they would ask him way harder questions or just treat him more different than the other students. My grandpa had this motorcycle that he would keep in their garage, and the garage was separate from the house. So there was a row of house complexes, and then a mile down they would have all the garages set up. So when their dad went to work, they were able to sneak off into that garage, and of course our grandpa took the key so the young boys wouldn't drive it. But my dad and Vanya, they somehow crafted out a key. They traced it and then somehow cut out a piece of metal to make sure that it would fit into the motorcycle. Yeah. So they started it up, and they would do this for months on end. During the summertime, they would just ride it around the whole entire city. And my grandpa our grandpa never noticed. But one time, this is what caused them to stop stealing the motorcycle. They were riding it in the forest, and it was a particularly muddy day. And my dad saw a puddle, so he slammed on the brakes, almost flew off, and Vanya was in the back. And Vanya obviously couldn't somehow hold on, so he flew off and landed face flat into the puddle, and the motorcycle kind of got a little messed up, but they fixed it. No fun things with friends. Going outside, only in the neighborhood, always have to know where you're at. It has to be close. And they would just be super overprotective and not allow me to go anywhere with friends, kind of.
Yeah, which is so hypocritical because they were raised in the totally opposite. They just left the house in the morning and came back at night.
Welcome back to another episode of Voro-Pod. Today we're going to be discussing what it's like growing up in an immigrant family. Both of our parents are from Ukraine, and we grew up in a first generation American type of household, so it's very different compared to what most people grew up in America. And yeah, just kind of discuss the benefits of that and then the difficulties of what we had to undergo. But sure, you have anything to say about it, or should we just get through our intro first?
Let's get through our intro first.
Let's get through it. All right, Bible verse of the day. Today's is going to be Luke chapter 11, verse 8 through 10. Okay, this is going to be Jesus' dialogue. Suppose you went to a friend's house at midnight, wanting to borrow 3 loaves of bread. You say to him, "A friend of mine has just arrived for a visit, and I have nothing for him to eat." And suppose he calls me from his bedroom. "Don't bother me. The door is locked for the night, and my family and I are all in bed. I can't help you." Now listen, Alik. "But I tell you this, though he won't do it for friendship's sake, if you keep knocking long enough, he will get up and give you whatever you need because of your shameless persistence. And so I tell you, keep on asking, and you will receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, everyone who seeks finds, and to everyone who knocks, the door will be opened." Powerful verse.
That is a very good verse.
And it's a good way to live your life as well. Because with this, Jesus is saying, anything that you are persistent and want, yearn enough in life, you can receive that. If you keep on going after it, you will receive it.
Wow, that actually leads me into one of my, what's it called?
One of your stories for today?
Stories, yeah, stories. Well, stories, just life updates and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So,
I mean, yeah.
Okay, we could continue this verse if you want to dissect it any further.
No, you just go ahead.
Go ahead.
We'll keep on talking.
All right. So, basically, I played some soccer in. I played soccer my whole life actually. So since I was very young, I just didn't play for like a big team until I got into like high school. I played for high school, I guess, but um, and
And
then
to
I
add to
quit.
that, that's kind of another thing with a condom growing up in an immigrant family because
Yeah,
generally we didn't have enough money to play like team sports. I had the same problem with basketball. But yeah,
yeah,
continue.
yeah. So I quit soccer when I was like 16, 17 maybe, and then I just never got back into it because I was just like, oh, I have so much stuff to do, and I didn't really like hang out with people that liked soccer, so it kind of like dropped down on my like priorities list, down,
Hmm.
down, down. And then once I moved here, actually, all the people that I hang out with, they all play soccer. All of my friends, every single last one of them, they play soccer. Some of them got into it like recently, and then some of them have played for a while. But that really got me like thinking and like rethinking my goals in life and like really what I want to accomplish in my life. And because I really wanted to play professionally, but I just
Yeah, I
never had the
remember when you were a
opportunity.
kid, you're
Yeah,
always even promised my brother a McLaren P1. You
yeah.
said you're going to be on the professional level, making millions of dollars. I don't
As a
know, dude.
child,
If you
what can I
spoke it
say?
into existence, you got to do it now.
I do have to do it. That's why my goals kind of changed for my body as well as my like time
Hmm.
commitments and stuff like that. Because if I would be doing bodybuilding, it just wouldn't work out for soccer. Because
Right.
you really need a lean body, but you also need muscle mass. But you just has to
You
be
need
like lean.
explosiveness, not
Yeah,
mass.
yeah. So that's why I am training. I'm training almost every single day. I'm sick right now actually, like coming off of a sickness, and I'm still training. I pulled a muscle playing. I strained a muscle. It's not bad. I think it's just like hurt. It's just gonna take like a couple of weeks to heal, like
So
because I do it wrong and stuff like that. But yeah, what's up?
you said that you stopped bodybuilding, right? Like
I
you're not going to the
sort
gym
of
as
stopped.
much. Okay.
Not as much, not as much though. But
So
I still want to do it almost every single day.
what is soccer training? How is it different than bodybuilding? Like what do you do
Oh,
for
completely
that?
do. I All I do is ball control.
Just
All it
ball
is
control. So
ball control.
you're just practicing the sport. You're not like doing anything to train like your muscles.
Oh, train
It's
muscles.
just
That's what I want to do at the gym specifically, right? You're gonna
okay.
train muscles and maybe train ball control and explosiveness at like soccer training, and then do like muscle mass obviously at the gym
Yeah.
because
So
yeah.
okay, let me rephrase my question. So I'm saying like bodybuilding, the kind of workouts you do aren't necessarily beneficial for soccer. Like, are there any other workouts that you're trying to work for that like specific towards soccer, like to build explosiveness in the gym?
Um. Well, I first of all want to grow my legs in general.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna do that generally, and there's like, you just go to the gym and work out your legs. That's basically right. What you do, you could do like, you know, like the explosive where like jumping, you jump high from a standing position.
Mm-hmm.
You
Box
could
jumps, I
do
think.
like calf raises because that's gonna really like strengthen your calf. So you could do everything. Everything you do at the gym, it's gonna make your muscles stronger, I guess. But explosiveness, that's more like, um, the way I see it is you have to train your feet to like to be faster than your brain can think, basically. So have a brain of its own. So
Mind to
I am,
muscle connection.
yeah. So I
It's like
am
the same
pretty
thing with the
quick.
guitar or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. I'm pretty quick. So I I would like to get quicker. Obviously, who doesn't want to get faster? But I'm pretty quick as it is. I'm faster than people that are taller than me. So my legs are pretty good, but it's like, when you're playing soccer, you kind of have to move your legs really quick and out of position. It's not the same as just running straight. So you have to like always be on balance, make sure that your body is always on balance when you're going around players or when you're trying to get the ball. All of this stuff, it's a lot different than like the training is probably different than
Yeah, you have
bodybuilding because
to.
it's just mass.
You probably have to train mobility and like flexibility as well. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started like doing some stretching, or?
Yeah, I actually got injured because I'm super bad at stretching. So I was playing a game like a week ago maybe, and I was like, I really don't want to play this game because it's not for me. Like that wasn't my league. I was just filling in for somebody. I was like, I didn't want to play today, so I came in. There's 2 games. I start playing. I did a little bit of training. I start playing, and then I ripped my not ripped, but I might have strained my like quad. Right in front. It's like halfway through your quad, but yeah, I strained it a little bit. Now I got to heal. I got tryouts in March I think, and then I also got tryouts in the summer. Depends if I don't make it on the March one. The March tryouts is for a like sort of professional. It's more of like an amateur league, but it's still like a like
For
national
college
league.
or?
No. This is like a legit team.
Oh, okay.
This is a legit team, and then there's also a college one in the summer if I don't make it to the legit team. Because this legit team is like minor league.
Do they pay?
No, I don't think this. Team
Okay,
pays.
so just
This is just like
to get your name
it'll
out
give
there?
you it'll put your name out there, and then like teams like in MLS or whatever, or even lower, because I don't probably MLS is not gonna pull you out of like
Yeah.
there's a lot less places in MLS than there is lower leagues. So, but yeah, I just have
Just got to
like,
be consistent.
I gotta be
The same
consistent, and
thing.
you have to know the right people too. Like you have
Mhm.
to know the right people. You have to bug the right people, like bug them,
Mhm.
like annoy them, not necessarily annoy them, but like catch their eye, be always in their view, yeah. Hopefully, I could heal though. I actually do need to do a little bit more research on how to heal, how to stretch, how to train, so that my muscles don't easily pull, stuff like
Well,
that. So yeah.
Persistence is key in life. Persistence
Yeah.
is key to success. Because back to the verse, over here it's saying pretty much that God wants you to work for the things you want in life. So it shows that if you just ask him a couple of times, that either your faith is lacking, or that you're like like you don't necessarily want that thing that you're asking for. Let's say
Yeah.
you want to be a good teacher or a good student at school, and you're getting bad grades. So you pray to God saying, hey God, please allow me to like think better, or allow my grades to go up. But then you don't put in the work, and you don't like continue asking him and try to work to improve yourself. That just shows that you're not determined enough, and nothing will come out of it. Because God's just not going to give you something just like that. He wants you to work for it. Like, that's how life works. You gotta work for the things you want.
Also, some of the time it's like teaching moments, right? Would you want?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a teaching moment for you to get it. Means that you have to learn all of these skills or all of these stuff that'll help you in life, not only like just to get this thing, but to go further in how you walk through life later on as well. So
Yeah.
like God isn't like, he doesn't think like we do. He knows ahead. He thinks smarter than us. So everything that we could think of, he's way ahead, and like
Right.
there's no reason for you to like. Sometimes you're like thinking like, oh, only if I had this, like I need this to help me out, but you just don't work hard enough, and God sees it, and He's not just gonna give it something to you just because you're not willing to work for it.
Even if you are working hard enough and you're putting in the time, like you might still have setbacks, because like what you said, God plans ahead and He knows what's happening, like what's going to happen in the future. So He might give you setbacks or trials that might like redirect you in the right direction, and then that'll like ultimately help you in your success, like that type of thing. So just got to keep on working and go with emotion, because setbacks happen and they're usually for a good thing. But so with this verse, it says, and give you whatever you need because of your shameless persistence. So do you think this is like saying you got to beg for things in life? Like, do you think you got to like beg for like beg God and praise Him all the time, or how do you think you go about this?
No, I mean, it's always good to pray for what you want, but
Mm-hmm.
like you also have to understand that there's
Boundaries.
there's bound
So
yeah
we-
there's yeah. So you could keep asking, and there's some people that are just gonna ask for it, and then there's some people that are gonna ask for it but also work for it at the same time. So they put effort and like
Have faith as
strength.
well.
Yeah. They have faith that it'll happen, plus they put the effort for it. And there's just some people that are like, oh, I'm just gonna pray for it, and then they don't do anything about it. They just like leave it alone, and like they're not determined, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And also the shameless part, like the shameless determination, or I see it as like not caring about what people like see or how people act about your hard work. It's not necessarily your asking, but your hard work, like,
Okay,
or
I
how
get that.
you treat what you
Or
how you
passionate
treat like
about.
the road. Yeah. How passionate you are, how
Like
you
people are
do
gonna
it.
judge you for what you're doing, but like you don't care. You just keep on working for what you want. That would
It's,
mean- okay,
it's
yeah.
the same thing as like somebody coming to me and saying like, "Oh, you're never gonna be a professional player." You know, like I don't care what they say, right? I'm still gonna train and try.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's just a little example.
Right, yeah. Because, like, personally, me, I find it hard to believe that that can happen. But, like, I'm here to support you, you know? Prove me wrong. What do you think about praying to God about, like, not necessarily financial success, but let's put this in our on our level or something. So praying to God for YouTube views or clout in like the internet. Do you think that's a good thing?
I think not
Or is that
necessarily
acceptable?
praying for clout. I think the better way to do it is not like better way, but the right way to pray about it and not only look at it is like you pray for to show people the right influence, right? To show people what.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, so you show like what we're putting on the internet is stuff that like the way that we see things through like the Bible, through our experiences, everything all put together. And maybe if that helps somebody, you know, like that's good. You know, we're
Yeah.
happy for you. But you know, we're not automatically gonna be famous just because of
Just praying to God.
well, not
You
necessarily
gotta-
praying to God, but if we posted one video and we just prayed to God, oh please please help this video
Mhm.
pop off, and like we just didn't care about it. Like if we like half asked it first of all
Whoa! I'm kidding.
too, we like halfway did it. Like we didn't even put the effort into any of the videos, and we just like put up one or two videos, and we just like pray, please help our YouTube. Like yeah, it's probably not gonna like do anything. It might explode just because, but it's not really any like.
It's
help.
not It's not
Yeah.
momentum. Like
Yeah.
you don't have an audience. Like to build an audience, you have to consistently work and put up more and more videos so they know who you are, and that's when you start like getting actual money or recognition. But yeah, the reason I asked about the internet thing is because we're gonna segue away from the Bible verse now, just to clarify. This isn't anything about Bible anymore. But I started getting somewhat success on my YouTube channel, almost at 100 subscribers. I'm out here with I think 95 currently, and tomorrow is gonna be my 2 month like I started 2 months ago. So it's I'm proud of it, you know.
Nice.
100 subscribers, 50,000 views, mostly on shorts though. But yeah, giving a shout out to my channel, follow Voro Fitness.
Actually, I want to ask you a little bit. What kind of gear do you use to record?
I legit just use my phone, and then I have a plug-in mic, a wireless one, and then attach it to right here. And then that's all I use to record. Maybe I have a stand as well.
Cause I think I told you I was planning on maybe like creating some soccer videos of like the progression. I'm not a professional dribbler. Well, no dribbler. I'm decently good at dribbling, but I'm not a professional bro. What is it called? Juggling. So I'm not a professional like by any means, but I'm decent at it. Like I could
Yeah.
keep it up for a pretty long time, and like do some tricks as well. But like I wanted to record, like my progression in that, and then my progression in running, my training, my drills, all of that to like, till I like make a team, or even after the team, I want to maybe like do it, just like, but maybe not necessarily vlogs, but like progression, I guess.
You can even do like challenges and stuff, or
Yeah,
like
of course.
trying random shots on like the corner until like you perfect it or something. And
Yeah.
people like watching that because soccer is obviously the biggest sport in the world. And there was, who was that guy? He was like from South America, I think. He was just doing like
Oh.
trick shots in his
Yeah.
at his like random or at his local park, and then eventually he made it to some team, like a professional team, right? And
Well,
he
it's
got
like
famous.
it's an academy.
In the
It's an
academy.
academy, yeah.
Yeah, but like he got his name out there, like achieved his goal, and is now like working to become an actual professional player.
I think he's from Brazil.
He's Brazil, okay. Do you know who it is, or?
So I'm searching him up real quick. No, I
Type in, like,
can't
soccer
find him.
TikToker.
We might post him up later if I find him, but
Yeah.
I think he was like from Brazil. He had like a like a like a Spanish or Portuguese language. I remember. I don't remember exactly which one, but I remember the kid. But yeah,
Yeah.
he was like exploded, and then he stopped making videos. He just cut off TikTok all the way, which is
Oh, he did?
interesting. Yeah, he did. He's like, oh, I have to focus on soccer, so I'm stopping making videos.
Respect.
Yeah.
I mean that makes sense. He got the clout, he got his name out there, and then he just stopped because that's not making him like probably as much money.
Hey, you just gotta watch him on TV now, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. Yeah, respect to him.
Cool guy. But yeah, anyways, that's the way to do it. Also, I guess it'll put my name out there with like I don't know, soccer people that watch. They'll like see my videos, and let's say I show up to a tryout, they'll already know who I am. Like some people will know who I am based on my videos or something like that. I don't know. That's just some of the ways I could think that it could help, but I think it'll help
might as
me
well
like get
try
better.
it out,
Yeah.
and then you'll be more serious about soccer because like you're gonna try to, I guess, appeal to the audience. It's gonna
Yeah,
give you like that extra
yeah.
boost of motivation to keep on
And
going.
it's also like I have two goals now that also involve soccer. Let's say YouTube and to get professional. So it's not like one goal where I'll get professional. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow, But I have to record a video, and that's gonna help me to get professional soccer. That's like two stuff making me like not only motivation but also like determination. What was the word?
Persistent.
Persistence, I guess. What was
don't
the
know.
word? Like motivation and the other word.
Discipline.
Discipline. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I guess it'll like force me to be more disciplined.
Yeah. Sure. Any more stories, or we ready to get
Wait
into
up,
the main
let me
topic?
pull up. Oh yeah, I had such a problem, bro. Internet shopping sucks. It sucks so bad. I ordered 3 pairs of soccer shoes now,
Mhm.
and okay, so these shoes, New Balances, they costed like 220 from a store. I got them for 145. That's with shipping prices. They're decent, but they're a little too wide on me. My foot is literally made for a Nike Mercurial. Like Nike Mercurials were made for my foot because they're like really slim and they like go up. Adidas, bro, sucks. It sucks. Like there's no store here for soccer specifically, and it just sucks shopping for right
'Cause
gear.
You don't know like what's gonna fit your foot. Can you send all those back, or did you buy 3 specifically for right now?
No, so I bought 2 right away. I bought Adidas green ones that I already shipped back because they weren't fitting me. Like my bone was hurting on my foot. Like that's just not right. These ones are wide, but I can't send them back. Like I'm keeping these. I just have to get like
Why can't you send them
bigger
back?
socks. I just have to get like socks, like grippy socks, and they'll be fine. Like it wasn't too bad. Like it wasn't too bad. I got them for a really good deal, so Like I could keep them. It's not gonna bother me much. But I had to order new indoor shoes now because the green ones didn't work. So now we're gonna see on Tuesday if they fit or not.
Yeah, I've never had problems with online shopping. Every single time I bought something online, it was good.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like either I'm not as picky as you, or everything just fits me.
Got a new ball as well. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Actually, it's pretty cool. So, but the thing is, the difference is.
Can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. The difference is between like shopping for like design, well, not design, but just for like wearing like a t-shirt.
Casual
you
wear.
sort of casual wear. You sort of know the size that's coming because like large, medium. It's not, there's not much of like a difference, but for soccer, they have to be. It has to be like a sock on you. So when it's on your foot, it has to feel like a sock. It has to be super tight, but also not like hurt tight. But it's just supposed to like fit you perfectly.
Like
Otherwise,
snowboarding.
is snowboarding?
Yeah, it's the same way because you don't want your ankles moving around so you don't get hurt. So it's got to be like tight, but not too tight so you don't lose circulation.
No, I don't. I don't know. I don't think
It's not the
they're
same
comparable,
exact thing, but like you can compare it to that.
but- Okay, maybe I just don't like. I don't recognize your what's it called, because I'd never like snowboard. I don't understand. Like I haven't done it.
okay.
I mean, but so, anyways, it's supposed to be like a sock perfect, and when I put those Adidas ones on, it felt like at the front of the foot it was like this, and like it just felt like you're tapping like above. But anyways, it just didn't fit well. So
Yeah.
it's just a struggle in buying gear, and now I have to miss the first game because my shoes aren't gonna come in time and stuff like that. All this garbage.
Just plain regular shoes.
I could, but I also don't want to play because I want to let my injury heal fully.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna wait, go, outside, train in those shoes, get them nice and like tight on my foot, like get the feeling right and all of that. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Immigrant family. You want to give a little backstory of like both your parents and where they came from in the world, and how
Yeah.
they met here in America, right? Or they get married
I'm pretty
in-
sure, yeah. No,
Okay.
they definitely met here. They were too
Okay.
young. I think my mom was like 14 when she moved
yeah.
here. Yeah.
That makes sense.
She was young. 13, 14. My dad was 15. If she was 13, so he's 2 years older, I believe. Yeah, 2 years older. And so they moved. My mom moved from Western Ukraine. My dad lived on the border of Ukraine and Moldova. It was on the border, but he's technically from Moldova. But they're all Eastern European, Slavic people. I'm pretty sure they were raised the same and stuff like that. I don't think there's a big difference in how they were raised, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure.
all
It's
very similar.
Do you have any do you know any stories that they've experienced? Since I don't know, my parents were way older when they
Yeah.
moved over here. They're already like 25, already had a kid and everything. So they experienced a lot more in Ukraine. But like, did your parents have like any stories, or were they kind of already too young?
Not necessarily my parents. My uncle had a couple of stories from my dad's side.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's sister's husband. He had like stories where they would like steal his like. My camera just went out. Okay, it's back.
You're good. Yeah.
Okay, so they would steal the car, like their dad's car, drive around, and then almost get caught at vineyards where they were getting grapes and stuff like that. It was.
So they would steal grapes.
Well, it was like government, so it's like.
Okay.
So it's stealing, but like, I don't know.
It's either way, it's
stealing,
gonna
I
get to them.
Sort of.
Yeah, I have a lot of stories from like what my dad told me. But
Also, Vanya, I think the story that you written down, Vanya told me as well.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, so.
I'll say that a little bit later, but maybe like a little backstory of my parents. So both of them are from a little town called like Novolinsk, Ukraine, and
Novovolinsk.
Novolinsk. And
Yeah, it's on the border of
Poland and Ukraine.
Poland, yeah.
It's really close, very western. They got married when my dad was 24 and my mom was 20, and they lived in Ukraine for a couple of years until one of my dad's sisters got like access to go to America, and then pretty much our whole entire family afterwards
Wait,
moved over.
Who
Toma.
was that?
Toma and Vlad.
Really?
Yeah. So she got us
Wow.
all into America. Well, she got, like, her drawing got pulled or whatever. Like, technically, so the way, like, immigration works, like, you put in a request and then they, I don't know, like, how they necessarily do it, but they eventually, like, draw your name and you're able to move over to America. And then once one family mate is in America, like, their whole entire family can, like, move towards.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that our family moved and our second cousins moved as well because they were, like, related as well.
Yeah.
Because of, like, our Toma or whatever. I guess she brought the whole...
Technically, because I
yeah.
think we might have been able just to go without even Toma, but I'm pretty sure Toma got in there because of religious persecution. Because you know how Soviet Union like, didn't allow like freedom of religion, so that's how we got into America.
There's actually some stories that like my mom told me about that, about how Toma was...
Say about it.
Wait, about Toma or Sveta, or Toma was getting bullied in school about it. They were beat up in school because
beat up?
Yeah, they were beat up in school.
Okay, yeah, my dad has the same exact stories.
Yeah, they were beat up in school because they didn't wear what is it? Do you know what it's called?
Halstuk. It was a tie.
Halstuk, yeah. It was like a special tie where
pretty much
the word. There's like a word for them, like for those people that wore it. Like there's like a word I forgot. But anyways, they...
Communist? So, what do you mean the word for it?
For the people that wore it, they were like... There was a word for it, but I completely forgot it.
They were supporting the government, the communist government.
Well, yeah, I know, but there was like a word for it, but it's whatever.
This is what it looked like, right here. It's like a red tie like this, and it like when it wrapped around people's necks. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, so because they didn't wear it, they would get beat up.
Yeah, or get like made fun of, and the teachers wouldn't give them as good grades.
Teacher would be fine with pionieri, that's what they were called. They're called pioneers. Yeah, the people that wore them.
Why? Like, what is that?
I don't. They're pioneers. I don't know. Like that's the definition of pioneer, but I don't know. That's just what they were called, pionieri.
Okay.
So they would wear them, and everybody was supposed to wear them. But when you know you don't go to school with them, you'd get bullied, you'd get beat up, and you know like Vanya and your dad, they were old. Do you think did they get beat up too?
So my dad said that he was treated unfairly. Like the kids, when he was younger, would make fun of him that he's not wearing it. The teachers would treat him differently, and they would like grade him more harshly on tests. And the way their tests worked is they had to go up in front of the classroom and pretty much like, so you answer questions and then you have to elaborate on the questions in front of the whole entire class. Like that was part of it at times. Like you have to do public speaking, and they would ask him like way harder questions or just like treat him like more different than the other students. From his account, that's what he said. But I don't know specifically if he got beat up. I haven't asked him. I know he got in a lot of fights, but I don't know if that's necessarily because he didn't wear the tie.
Well, yeah, but like I was like asking my mom, why didn't like Alik and Vanya just like, you know, because they were older, why didn't they like protect? But it was like all together because the teacher would allow it to happen. Like, the teachers would allow it to happen.
The system was corrupt.
Yeah, the whole system was screwed up, and
because then if they defended against little kids, they'd get in trouble, you know? Yeah. Like beating up little kids.
I mean, not really. You think in the Soviet Union, Like they literally beat kids.
Yeah,
Like if they did
nah,
anything
I'm
wrong,
kidding.
they hit their hands. You know, it was like normal at school, I guess.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
I know.
Seems like it would be fun if you have a very big family, like you'd be able to control enough. No, if you have like a massive
I
family
don't
type of
know.
thing.
Just I haven't I can't like really speak on this since I was like the very youngest and
No, but gang wise, when there's like a gang and like it was all one family, the whole family
hmm
like controls a city because, there's so many of them and nobody's really gonna do anything about it.
yeah.
And like if you have enough like family wise, nobody's gonna really mess with you. They mess with you once, a couple of, your older cousins or cousins in general, pull up and not necessarily beat you up, but you just stand there and like they're not gonna really want to fight. And
Yeah.
say in that time, it's probably like that, very similar right now too, in the Eastern Europe. Do you think it
Could
really
be.
changed much?
Yeah, I think it's way more modernized. It's probably like America.
Let me speak on it. Not necessarily Ukraine and Poland. Let's say like
Like
Serbia,
Romania.
Romania.
I still think it's
Serbia is not even in the what's it called?
UN.
UN and no, not a
Not,
UN.
they are EU. I think that's what it is.
EU, yeah, they're not part of the EU. Serbia, Bulgaria might be. I'm not sure, but Serbia's not. Like those tiny countries that are like Slavic.
I
But
still think they're way more modernized than how our parents described it, and it's like it's still I'm not modernized, I meant westernized. It's still like closer to what America is like.
how about Russia?
It's completely different than what it was before. It's like it's not the same. I don't know how to describe it, but I don't
What?
think it. What the heck?
What?
Screen just glitched out. Keep
Everything
going.
good?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So they were beat up. That's why they needed like what is it called? Religious persecution. Reasons for moving.
I have a
And
story about my dad when he was a young lad at church. So you know how the Soviet Union didn't allow Christianity, obviously, and that was frowned upon. They had KGB. Is that what it's called? Their
KGB.
CIA. KGB.
Yeah, it is KGB. Yeah.
So they had those spies or workers. They would monitor the churches over there. And when my dad was like 6 years old, one of the KGB spies like stopped the church and he said like, "You guys are corrupting the youth. They're not gonna respect the Soviet Union and they're not gonna like participate in pretty much the army or just like the whole entire the system. They're disrespecting it. That's the type of people you're raising, and that's why we don't want you to continue this church." And the officer like he like was walking around and he pointed at my dad, and then he like picked him up and put him on the table, and he said like, like young boy, do you respect the Soviet Union and are you gonna like work hard for it or whatever?" And then in his head he knew that he didn't want to like embarrass his dad, because if he said like, "Oh yeah, I support the Soviet Union, I'm gonna like work hard to make sure like it continues being strong," then like everyone would like think differently about his dad. So he said, "No, I will not like
Yeah.
respect the Soviet Union." And the guy was
That's
like,
fu-
"See, look what you've done. You're already corrupting them at such a young age." And I just remember my dad always said that story.
That's
But
funny.
yeah, KGB officer.
That's good. Do you think it's actually KGB? I don't think it's KGB that were walking around there. Like, they weren't that
Well,
much.
he worked for the
KGB was like,
government.
well, yeah, but KGB was like spies. They're like spies. So I don't think it was
Technically, it's
KGB.
a spy.
I don't think so. I think it was more like
Spion.
police. They had like a separate like name for police, I think.
Yeah.
So,
He told me it was a KGB, but who knows?
I mean, they like to say a lot of stuff extra, a little
Make
bit.
the stories look better.
A little bit, yeah, don't they?
No,
Sometimes.
for sure. Everyone does.
They kind of say it a couple times. Yeah, because I know like a little bit times. where Vanya will say like a little bit extra, not too much to like change the story, but like just a little bit extra to make it like
Mm-hmm.
look better. But yeah.
You were talking about how your uncle stole like their dad's car in their drive to Vineyards, right?
Yeah, they'd always.
Okay, I'm gonna tell the story about my dad and Vanya, and you can add to it if I like miss anything. But my grandpa had this motorcycle that he would keep in like the garage, and the garage was separate from the house. So there was a row of house complexes, and then like a mile down, they would have like all the garages set up. So when their dad went to work, they were able to sneak off into that garage, and of course, our grandpa took the key, so like the young boys wouldn't drive it. But my dad and Vanya, they somehow crafted out a key. They like traced it and then somehow cut out a piece of metal to make sure that it would fit into the motorcycle. So they started it up, and they would do this like for months on end. Like during the summertime, they would just ride it around the whole entire city. And my grandpa never, or like our grandpa never noticed. But one time, this is what caused him to stop stealing the motorcycle. They were riding it in the forest, and it was a particularly muddy day. And my dad saw a puddle, so he like slammed on the brakes, almost flew off, and Vanya was in the back. And Vanya obviously couldn't somehow hold on, so he flew off and then landed like face flat into the puddle, and the motorcycle kind of got like a little messed up, but they fixed it. But is that how he explained the story?
No, not at all.
Well,
it was very okay. So the story was it was a car.
It was a car. Okay.
Story was it was a car, and it was like a mile to 2 miles a walk from the house to the garage.
Okay.
That's why they would never check, and like the grandpa would always complain about his gas being low, but it's because they would always go driving on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was a car. I don't know about like the falling off, but like they just said
it was
like,
a
they
car?
broke it. Yeah, he said that it was a car, and this was the last time I was there that he told me the story.
Might have been two different stories though.
2 weeks ago, like no, like a month ago maybe.
And did he say that he flew off and landed in the puddle?
No, he didn't say anything about falling off or landing.
Okay, so that might have been a different story then, because
yeah, he said it was a car, and they said that they like made a key as well. They like made a key
they
for
probably
the car.
did keys for everything, yeah.
Maybe, but why would they have a motorcycle and a car?
Because Grandpa ended up buying a car later on.
Maybe.
But yeah, they had a motorcycle and a car.
Maybe, so maybe they did both. And then
Grandpa
like
was a crazy driver though.
Was he?
Yeah, he somehow once backed up, and there was a ledge that like he kind of like fell down into like a steep mountain area, and he backed up too much and got his car stuck like that, and he couldn't like go forward or backwards because it was like on the frame. And somehow they had to get it out of there before. But, yeah.
I never heard about that. That's crazy.
There's a bunch of cool stories about Ukraine. I'm sure a bunch of them are exaggerated because as time goes on, you kind of forget the specific details and you want to make it sound cooler. So I'm sure that's how the stories go on.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously our parents made it to America, and we were both born here as first generation Americans. What do you view as a pro of being a first generation American, like born in an immigrant family?
So we like what I know from being first generation Americans, that they are very against communism. Very against communism.
Very conservative.
Yeah, very conservative, because over there where it was like persecuted, they held Christianity even through it, which I mean that's pretty difficult. Not many people like probably held through. There are probably some people that would like wear the halstuk and like just conform, just like in view so that it was seen. But our family, they did it in the open. They just said no, we're not gonna do it. And I guess like that strength, like hard-headedness, it kind of probably like flows
Passed
through our
on to
veins as
us.
well. Yeah, so you could say
Yeah,
so.
because there were probably millions of teenagers that didn't want to go into the military in the Soviet Union, but they had to go because it was a requirement. And people from our community, the church community, they would stand up against the officials and the like generals or whatever over there and tell them like, no, I'm not gonna conform to the military. I'm not gonna what's the shoot like when you do a pledge, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's a pledge.
What's the thing that you did for
At
computer
school.
computer science? No.
Oh, it's like a promise. It's like a contract. I guess it's like a thing where you like promise not to do this kind of stuff.
Oath. That's the word.
Oath. Yeah.
Okay. So you would have to say an oath, pretty much saying, I will do anything in my power to make sure the Soviet army wins, and I will like never abandon them and everything, and I will like kill people and something like that. And obviously, as a Christian, you're not supposed to fight in the army and kill other people. That's against the New Testament. So my dad would decline that oath. And when I think they were officers, like they would come up to him and say like, say the oath. And he said, no, Alec, I'm not going to do it. And they told him that they're going to throw him into the front lines of Afghanistan, because at that time they were fighting against Afghanistan, the Soviet Union. And they said, like, if you don't do this, we're going to throw you into the front lines of Afghanistan and make you run out, and they'll just like shoot you down right away. And my dad said, okay, let's do it. And they'd get pissed, cuss him out and everything. But in his mind, he was saying like, oh, I'm going to die as a follower of Christ, and like right away I don't have to live in this world, and I can just go right to heaven. Like that's what was in his mind. Like he had nothing to lose. He was 20 years old, or 18. So
Nothing to lose.
That's what he told me. In his mind, he had nothing to lose. Like
Really?
he wasn't attached to anything. He didn't have any
Okay.
responsibilities. Like us right now, technically we don't have anything.
True, but still, it's like it's not
Right.
how
Like
anything
that's
to
a
lose.
crazy thing to say when you're 18. You're like, whatever, I don't care. And they would do that. Like he told me about like 1 out of 20 people that denied the oath, something would happen to them. Like they would either get thrown in prison, maybe get beat up by the officers. Sometimes like they would even send them out like actually on the front lines. Like they weren't lying, but they ended up not sending my dad like out into the front lines. They just used that as a scare tactic. So some people would like conform and say the oath, but he was able just to be a regular crew member, I guess, at a base, and he would do like construction and just kind of do random stuff around the base.
Yeah, Vanya
Instead
told
of
me some
fighting.
of like the stuff too, where they were forcing them to like do the oaths as well. And, yeah. So
Back to
mean-
the positives of being an immigrant.
yeah.
Hard-headedness. You had anything else to say about that?
Not really about the hard headed.
Wait, what do you mean? Like that you're not necessarily, you don't fall under pressure? Is that what you meant?
I guess, and you know what matters, and like you don't like move away from it. So, let's say when like that is the example basically of what they did, of what your dad did. He's like, let's go, like.
Let's go, champ.
Let's go. You know, I wouldn't mind a flight to Afghanistan.
Not even okay. Another pro is like you might be hard-headed and not be affected by other people's necessarily words, and that goes back to like the shameless persistence. Like you don't care what other people think about you. That could be another thing. But I feel like coming from an immigrant family, I'm more driven than the average person.
You have
know what
more
I mean?
to prove.
Not that, yeah, more to prove, but like also I feel like it's the way we were raised, plus we saw how difficult it was for our parents, and we want to, I guess, like make it out like in the way that's kind of how it is. Like we don't want to experience the same thing for our kids, and we want to try as hard as we can to like become successful. And obviously we know that with success comes hard work, since we've seen like our parents pretty much hustle their whole entire lives to provide for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
No, I agree.
Can you speak on that a bit?
Speak on. You spoke on it completely.
Dude, you can keep on going. That's the beauty.
I really can't.
You can't?
Not about that. I mean.
No, okay. Let me ask you a question then. Like, what did you see from, like, your mom or dad, like, that made you, I guess, more driven? Like, what specific, like, maybe experiences or...
Well, okay, so my dad, he's non-stop trying to, like, do stuff to, like, make money. Not necessarily, like, business-wise, but he's just, like, hustling, like, all the time.
He doesn't like wasting time.
Yeah, he doesn't waste time. He's like on it all the time. We used to do construction. We'd work like Monday through Saturday, like every single day. It was like
10-hour
dude, this
days.
is too much. Yeah, 10-hour days. We'd go to work at like 7, and then we'd come back like 7, 8. You know, it was crazy amount of work. Sometimes we would even stay out to like 10 if we had to, you know, finish it. And it's just like constantly, and then he's like tried new things. Now he's like doing trucking, and he's doing all this stuff just to like you know try new things.
To make sure to provide. And
yeah, also because he was like his health is not necessarily he's bad, but he just like doesn't want his knee to hurt, or he doesn't want his lungs to go bad. You know it's just better not to be in the construction business. Let's be honest, yeah, construction business is not that healthy.
Very bad for your health and for your body. Because yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to, like, an experience from my life was what I saw. My mom was always at home, and she would, like, this goes back to the last episode, how we grew up in a traditional type of family where the mom stays at home, at least me. The mom stays at home and my dad's working all day. And pretty much my childhood was a little bit better than my siblings, because like I was maybe like 9 years after, but what they experienced of my dad was pretty much working all the time, because when they moved over to America, we had no money, so my dad had to work all the time. He would work like 6 days a week, like you were saying. Like, what's the word? He was damaging his body, because like his kidneys now hurt, his arms are like ripped up from construction, and he would work out in the cold and just like make sure that he can provide for the family, because we were like paycheck to paycheck, and we had food stamps, like losing the house maybe at certain times. Really? But eventually, well, I'm pretty sure like there were stories about like how it came pretty close, because he lost his job in the 2008 crash and stuff like that. Like it came pretty close.
Actually, I have a story about the 2008 crash.
Yeah, but eventually he made it out, and now he's comfortable. He's taking the winter off. But yeah, go ahead with the story.
Oh no, it's just everybody had houses in 2008 crash. Like our whole family, everybody had houses when the crash happened. I think we had a house right next to your house when we had to get rid of it. We had to get rid of it in 2008, and then also my uncle, the one that lives here. He had like 1 or 2 houses. He had 1 house, I think, as well. We lost both of the houses. 1 in California, 1 in Idaho, because of the 2008 crash. My uncle lost a house in 2008 crash. Like, I don't know if did anybody else from our family lose houses? 2008 crash.
I don't think so. I think it might have been just you.
Might have been just me. Yeah. Yeah, and just a thing too. Before the 2008 crash, it's like my dad was going crazy. He was hustling so much. He had 2 houses at the time, and he was just like a tile. Like he just laid tile.
If you work hard enough, you'll get it. Yeah.
Yeah, he had 2 houses.
How do you have 2? That's crazy.
1 in California, 1 in Idaho. I was like, I don't know.
How long did your parents have the house in Idaho for?
They had it for at least 2 years, I think, because they had renters in there for a while after whatever happened. Yeah. And then they sold it like after the 2008, because they couldn't keep it anymore and like manage it. They just had to sell it.
のだ。 we were talking about being more driven, right?
Yeah.
Oh, another thing I wanted to say was, since we did kind of like grow up in a less fortunate type of environment, like we didn't have financial freedom like most Americans did. We were like struggling with paychecks to paycheck. And when you see that and experience that, it goes back to the saying of like the hard times create strong men. And I
Yeah.
feel like we kind of experienced that, you know, because we experienced the hard times, the um
But it was sort of
difficulties.
like the middle. It was like the difficulties, but also like
We also
our
had the
dads were also
stuff, yeah.
crazy strong. Like they were crazy strong too. That's the
It
thing.
meant, what do you mean crazy strong?
Well, like strong men. They were strong
They're
men.
able to provide, yeah.
They were able to, but also we understood like hard times as well. So we kind of got to see both.
Uh huh.
So
Because don't
yeah,
get me wrong, look at my room. I have so much nice stuff at this point, and obviously I have nicer stuff than what my siblings did because they bought me a lot of stuff, and now we're like financially way better off than what they experienced. So I can't necessarily say I went through that hard of times, but
yeah,
it's definitely, it was more harder in like elementary school years compared to what most people had in my neighborhood at least.
yeah,
But yeah, I feel like that's kind of what, in a way, is driving me right now to keep on working, and like I don't want to stop. You know, going to school, trying to make my dreams come true.
yeah.
I'm a boy with a dream.
What is the dream?
To play soccer.
Really?
I
I
want
can
to play
teach you a
soccer,
little.
man.
I can teach you
I'm
a
gonna
little
make it
bit.
to the NBA. I'm gonna make it. I
NBA?
want to play basketball, actually, not soccer.
Do you
That was my
actually want to
dream.
play or?
I wanted to, and I was in middle school, but obviously I know that's not gonna happen at this point because I'm
Yeah.
of the white descent. I'm kidding. I'm not though. I am not
Yeah.
kidding.
I mean, it's still it's hard times. Like even through the hard times, like they still were able to provide. Even
Yeah.
my parents were still able to provide through the hard times, which is really surprising. Just looking back, I don't know how. I have no idea how. Like it's just how, and we were still like receiving. I know a bunch of instruments that I went to play. It was all like it had to be paid for. I
Yeah.
played soccer, all of this random stuff that I did like that. Like I don't know how. Like how. It's still like
Hard work.
it was, yeah.
What did you think about? What do you think about growing up knowing two cultures and two languages? What are your experiences with that?
Well, we kind of could see the faults in the in like the other cultures, and we could see the faults in like actually both cultures in reality.
Yeah.
And it's knowing two languages, it's kind of like most of the time when you hear somebody speaking like English, only English, and you know they're American, and you're like, and you're with someone else that's like can speak Russian. You normally speak in Russian to them just because like why would you want other people to know what you're
Yeah,
saying?
you're able to
Right.
kind of have like a secret language.
Yeah,
No
it's
one
like a
else can
secret
understand. It's
language.
nice.
Yeah.
I used to do that all the time at school with my Ukrainian friends. But
Yeah.
going back to what you said about the culture, how you can see the faults in different cultures, I feel like that's really like important because you're able to open your eyes up to different perspectives and see how like different the world is. And like I feel like it allows you to become like more empathetic towards people, you know?
Yeah.
Because you understand where they came from, and you kind of like see, you kind of like you can empathize with them with their current issue. I feel like more when you're like more cultures in a way.
Maybe
Maybe it's
I
a far
don't really know
stretch.
who you're focused on. I don't really know who you're focusing on right now because like for me in my head I don't understand what you're saying, but I guess
So I'm just reaching for the sky, seeing what
I
I can get
guess
out of this. But
yeah.
No da.
Well, like you could. What I meant by seeing like the faults in cultures, like let's say the Slavic culture. One of the big faults was Slavic in general, not necessarily our family, but Slavic in general. You know that a lot of people have issues, and they keep it like closed. But also, when somebody finds out, everybody finds out. Like if one person finds out about the issue, everybody knows. But
Gossip.
like it's very, what is the word? Like they gossip and judgmental. And it's like it's all of that stuff, but everybody like has problems. They always keep it inside. They don't tell anybody, and it's like a bunch of secrets, and yeah, it's like that. That's like a little fault. I mean, the American one, English American culture. There's a lot of problems with that one, but we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Let's go on to cons of growing up in a immigrant family. So what do you think? Like, what are the first things that come to mind?
Immigrant. They start off with less, I guess, because they normally. It depends how, because there were immigrants that move over and they have money. They move with money. So I'm not sure, but based on what I saw, our grandparents moved with basically nothing. They had to work. The kids had to work. Everybody had to work, just to provide, stuff like that. That's the first con, I guess.
That's the first con? Like starting out with nothing?
Yeah, you start off.
Yeah, we kind of discussed that a little bit before when we were talking about like, the cons of starting out with nothing. I mean, the pros of starting out with nothing, because it's double-sided with that. But one of the things that I think of right away is how our parents kind of didn't understand this culture, and we weren't able to do as much stuff as like the normal kids,
Yeah.
Did you experience that at all?
Of course.
Okay.
I did.
Like, I don't know if this is necessarily just like how my parents were, but like I was not allowed to go to that many school events. Like dances were a big no, obviously, and then like sleepovers. I was not allowed to go to any American friends like sleepovers because they said you're gonna do bad things, and it was only with one friend, like a close family friend, that was allowed to, and also no fun things with friends. Like going outside, only in the neighborhood. Always have to know where you're at. Like it has to be close, and they would just be like super overprotective and not allow me to like go anywhere with friends. Kind of.
Yeah, which is so hypocritical because they were raised in the totally opposite. They just left the house in the morning and came back like at night. Like.
And I think that's what they say is like, oh, we experienced things and we know how bad we were, so we don't want the same thing to happen to you. Like, I don't know. I feel like most American parents are more chill, and they're like, oh, just let kids be kids, But for us, it was, oh, you're not doing that. You're not going there. It's like, always stay at home. If you go, like, even when I went out when I was, like, in high school, 16, 17 or whatever, phone call after phone call, like, past 8 o'clock. What are you doing? It's late at night. Come back home right now. Yeah. And I was talking to some chick, from my high school. Her parents are also immigrants from one of the stand countries, like the middle.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, like one of those ones. I forgot exactly which one. Uzbekistan it might have been. I'm not sure, but
Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan.
She said like the same exact experience that she had. Her parents don't let her go anywhere, and it's like crazy amount of phone calls. Even like when we were talking about this, it was at a wrestling meet, and we were doing this for a school activity just to get like a grade assignment, and we're being like sports med people or something. And she said that she had to like beg to go to this thing or something like that. It's like a school activity as well, like a requirement, and she had to beg for that. And it's like, it's crazy how I feel like immigrant parents are like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, I was raised sort of in like a Russian school. So it's like all of the like Slavic people, like everybody there is Slavic, and everybody understands that like it's all Slavic people. Everybody knows what's going on. But there were no like balls, there was no dances, none of that. Because it was so Slavic. I'm pretty sure they might have been something like that, but like barely anybody went maybe, or like stuff like that.
Yeah.
It like you knew it was a Russian school because it was like Like the stuff just didn't happen like that. And once I went into high school at a different school, middle school as well, they had like sort of like balls or whatever dances. I don't know, but they had them, and I still didn't go because I wasn't allowed to go, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of went the last 2 years of my high school, but I had to like beg like crazy, and honestly, I just got ready and dipped pretty much. I didn't give my dad much information. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just going to a school activity, and left. And I walked out in a suit, and like I don't know, he probably knew, but he just didn't care at that point.
He's like, I'm going to an interview actually.
This is a school activity with my tie. He was disappointed I was wearing a tie.
Why? He doesn't like ties? Oh,
Because of
Halstuk, yeah.
yeah, I'm kidding. No, I'm just messing around. But also another thing, I guess for you it was different. You were allowed to do sports, but that's probably due to Vanya. Like he probably influenced your mom to let you do it, right? Let's play soccer and stuff.
I don't think I don't think my mom was against it. I don't think my dad was against it either. I don't think anybody was against it.
I don't know. For me, like for me and my brother, or like probably my sisters too, if they want to do any sports, we kind of were never allowed to. And I don't know if that's probably mostly due to financial issues, but even with middle school, like, I don't know, they're like kind of saying, oh, why do you need to do that? Like, it's a waste of time type of thing. I don't know if you experienced that. That's another thing, that'd be like strictness.
No.
No.
They might have, like, not necessarily, like, against it. They're like you got to be logical. Like, you're not going to be anybody in soccer. You can just, like, play maybe once a week, stuff
Okay,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah,
But I
stuff
feel
like
like
that,
that's probably most parents are like that. Dream
I don't
killers.
think Americans. I don't think American parents.
A lot of them are.
Really? Have you
I
seen the
think
video? This kid's
Oh.
gonna be a professional basketball player one day. Dunk on the head.
How do you pull it up?
That was so fun. It's like
He's gonna be a professional athlete.
yeah.
The quality too. Oh my.
That's so funny.
Gotta pull this up. And I'm gonna turn on my volume, so.
Okay.
My dad, think fast. Listen, that child is going to be a pro athlete.
Who gets to talk? Oh shoot! Exposing my YouTube.
Oh, oops.
Oops! Don't subscribe.
Don't do that.
Get me there. I need 100 subscribers. Yeah. Anyways, where were we going with that?
Professional athletes, they're like ruining
Professional
your
athlete.
thoughts about it. You're not gonna be anybody. You could just like maybe one day a week, but you got to do homework. Homework. Is
School's the most important thing.
Of course.
Every single day, just do your homework. You don't need to, like, I would say, oh, I'm just gonna be working in construction. Like, I don't need to go to college. I'm gonna make a business. No, that was not allowed.
And the thing is, you can't even work on the business because they stuff you with college now too.
Yeah, I wanted to probably go to college. I knew that was the right thing to do, but also it was heavily influenced by my dad to go. He said that he won't help me out if I don't go to college. So
really, what do you mean? What do you mean help you out?
Like he won't help me out with
the business.
Yeah, with the business, and pretty much like he wouldn't support me in my decisions if I didn't go to college.
Makes sense.
But if you don't go to college and if you don't get like an educated job, like anything else is embarrassing to them,
Yeah.
Because they said like, oh, if I was in this situation, I would be able to go to college, get a good paying job, and I wouldn't be like busting my ass doing construction or doing like a dirty job like that. So I don't want you doing the same thing. And then like they thought of pretty much labor jobs as an embarrassing thing to do, especially in that position.
Yeah, because like in our position, we have the ability to go to school and like get an office
Actually
job, or not necessarily make it, but like get like a job where you don't have to bust your ass. You just go
American
to work,
dream
come
job.
back. Is that an American dream?
Yeah,
job?
American dream is just own a house, a car, and have a family, and maybe have a barbecue every Friday.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a barbecue with all the family, but
That'd be nice.
would be nice. But nobody lives here. Nobody lives here, and nobody lives.
Yeah,
in
no one lives here.
No one lives there. Yeah.
Oh shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh, also, you were saying about like becoming a professional athlete, like you're never gonna make it. Any type of dreams about like maybe an actor, YouTuber, or whatever, like all this stuff. Even like when I tell my dad like about my YouTube channel right now or this podcast, he's like, "Bro, get out of here! Like you're wasting your time."
Yeah, they're laughing at it. Like,
Yeah.
I want to make some videos. So they're like, "Psh, what are you doing? Why are you wasting your time?"
Yeah, they just like make fun of you if it's something that's not like a regular job.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's how just like most people are. I feel like most people are gonna be like joking around about something like that until you actually make it. Like Mr.
Of
Beast even
course,
said
yeah.
that something like this before. He said you're a loser about your passion until it actually works out and you like become successful.
Yeah. It's like if,
And then
if you
people
tell
are
somebody,
saying,
"Oh,
you're
yeah,
a genius."
yeah, yeah." It's like, "Oh, I make videos online. You know, sometimes how many views do you get? 100 views." It's like,
It's like, huh,
yeah,
laugh at you, like get out of here,
like,
type of
you're
thing.
not making any money. You don't matter.
Yeah.
And then like if like you actually pop off, you make you have a bunch of views, and then
And then like, oh, you're so smart.
yeah,
like,
how do you do this?
oh, like,
That's
oh,
so
wow,
cool.
like you're lucky or something like that. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Like right away. Well, obviously I don't know. I haven't experienced that, but that's why I don't tell anyone that I do YouTube videos because I know they're gonna say like they're gonna like that same exact scenario that you just provided. That's what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. So it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
But no that dreams equals none in an immigrant family.
Oh, there's only one dream, and you gotta dream about it every single day, and you gotta do it every single day. College.
College. See, you're not listening.
Huh?
You're not listening to that dream.
I am actually.
You actually been working on it.
Yeah, bro.
Are you serious?
I hate college, bro. So
Or
annoying.
you have been working on it. You're not
I
lying?
haven't. I'm not lying.
Okay.
But it's just so annoying. It pisses me off. I don't want to go to college.
What do you
Making a
mean? It's
professional
just not
soccer
fun at
player,
all?
that's it. It's so like, if I'm being honest, I'd rather go in person college. But then like when you're in person, you're like, why am I doing it here? Like what am I doing? Like so annoying.
Mhm.
But also when you go here, like you would rather be in college for math stuff. Let's say math specifically. Maybe English. English kind of sucks either way. But computer stuff, everything. If your whole college is on the computer, at one point you're gonna have a hard time like with time management and stuff like that because it's just
Yeah.
so much that's on the computer that you're like, I need to take a break from this, and then you just break after break, and then all this garbage. Because I just learned that in high school. Like I went out with decent grades. I had decent grades, but they weren't like good.
They were like
good.
mine.
Probably not. No, I had decent grades. I don't know. They were B's. I don't know. That's the thing. I always had B's, always.
B equals bad.
I had like a couple of A's like per semester. Let's say I had like 3 B's and 1 A, and then like when I had 4 classes, I had like 1 A and then 3 B's and stuff like that. Like I just wouldn't care enough. I don't know.
Duh. Sure. You have anything else to provide to this conversation? Are we done?
I think that sums up
Pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything about it.
All right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Maybe can understand what it was like to grow up in an immigrant family. And to those who did, I hope this resonated with you and
That's
it
the ones
touched
that
your
did
heart.
it. That's the ones that didn't. I hope you learned something.
I hope you learned. Yeah.
Hope
You
learned.
probably won't learn anything from this, but anyways, thanks for watching, learning. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.